Hare Krishna. Let's make a start. Chapter 6. And let's do another mother. Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Yashodanandan Vraj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandan Vraj Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hari Hari Bol Om Gyananandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutle Samrupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Ritam Tam Sajim Sadvetam Savdutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanyadam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivishakhanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavan Vreshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpata Brihescha Kirpa Sindhumevacha Paditana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavbhyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasti Gaur Bhakt Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatam Vandeshi Gurundin Tarana Paramananda Madhanam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tassat Narayan Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jemaduriyat Nashta Preshabdureshu Nityam Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloka Bhagavati Neshtaki Hari Hari Bol. So now today we're in verses 11 to 19, and last time we were talking about how Nadmuni's mother had passed away and he was left all alone. The sages initiated him, and they had left, so he ran away as well to find them, and sort of take it from there. So this is verse 11. Spitha janapadam statra pur garam varjakaran kaita kravata vatischa vanani upavanani cha. So Spithan very flourishing, Jan Padan, metropolises, Tatra de, Pura towns, gram villages, Braj big farms, Akaran, mineral fields, mines, Keita, agriculture lands, Karbat valleys, Bathi, flower gardens, Cha and Banani forests, Upa Banani nursery gardens, Cha and. So, after my departure, I passed through many flourishing metropolises, towns, villages, animal farms, mines, agricultural lands, valleys, flower gardens, nursery gardens, and natural forests. So he's run away, he's going through all these places. He's probably never seen all these things because he's just a very young child. Man's activities in agriculture, mining, farming, industries, gardening, etc. were all on the same scale as they are now, even previous to the present creation, and the same activities will remain as they are even in the next creation. After many hundreds of millions of years, one creation started by the law of nature, and the history of the universe repeats itself practically in the same way. The mundane wranglers waste time with archaeological excavations without searching into the vital necessities of life. After getting an impetus in spiritual life, Sri Narad Muni, even though a mere child, did not waste time for a single moment with economic development. Although he passed towns and villages, mines and industries, he continually went on to progressive spiritual emancipation. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the repetition of history which happened some hundreds of millions of years ago. As it is said herein, only the most important factors of history are picked up to be recorded in this transcendental literature. So Srila Prabhupada says that every situation we can use as an excuse or as an impetus. So everything that happens. Bhaktivedanta sages leaving him, the snake biting his mother, impetus to become even stronger. Guru acts as a telescope to bring you closer to Krishna. So if you have the right knowledge, then everything is an impetus. Everything that's happening in life, good or bad, it leads to only one goal, and that is getting close to Krishna himself. And in 12, Chitra Dhatu Vichitra Din Ib Bagan Bhuj Druman Jala Shayan Shiv Jalan Nihi Sura Sevitaha Chitra Swani Patra Rather Vibramad Brahmar Shriha. Chitra Dhatu is the valuable minerals like gold, silver, and copper. Vichitra, full of variegatedness. Adrin, hills and mountains. Iba Bhagan, broken by the giant elephants. Bhuja, branches. Durman, trees. Jalashayan, Shiva, health giving. Jalan, reservoirs of water. Nalanihi, lotus flowers. Sura Sevitha, aspired to by the denizens of heaven. Chitra Swanhi, pleasing to the heart. Patra Rathihi, by the birds. Vibhamat, bewildering. Brahmar Shriya, decorated by drones. So I passed through hills and mountains full of reservoirs of various minerals like gold, silver, and copper, and through tracts of land with reservoirs of water filled with beautiful lotus flowers, fit for the denizens of heaven, decorated with bewildered bees and singing birds. So now when he remembers everything to every detail, and for a child, he's got spiritual memory, but for a child to observe all these things is also amazing. So it's explained that everything in the creation, every invention and innovation is being repeated again and again in every creation. We have experienced things in previous creations. It's nothing new. So don't waste your youth, just like Narad. He didn't waste any time. He saw this, but he just continued. He used his youth in spirituality. He didn't apply experience. He applied his faith to progress. So faith can come at any age. Experience only comes with time. So apply the faith in this instance. Nalvenu Sharastanba Kush Kichaka Gavaram Eka Evati Yato Ham Adraksham Vipinam Mahat Goram Prati Bhayakaram Vyaloluka Shiva Jiram. So Nal is the pipes, Venu bamboo, Shraha pens, Tanba full of kush, sharp grass, Kichak weeds, Gavaram caves, Ekha alone, Eva only, Ati Yatha difficult to go through, Aham I, Adraksham visited, Vipinam deep forest, Mahat great, Goram fearful, Pratibhaya Akaram dangerously, Vyal snakes, Aluka owls, Shiva jackals, Ajiram playgrounds. I then passed along through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play yard of snakes, owls, and jackals. So Krishna was protecting him. He was going through the jungles and the forests, and which are very dangerous, especially for a child. It is the duty of a mendicant or pravakacharya to experience overrides of God's creation by traveling alone through all forests, hills, towns, villages, etc., to gain faith in God and strength of mind, as well as to enlighten the inhabitants with the message of God. A sannyasi is duty bound to take all these risks without fear, and the most typical sannyasi of the present age is Lord Chaitanya, who traveled in the same manner through the central Indian jungles, enlightening even the tigers, bears, snakes, deer, elephants, and many other jungle animals. So in this age of Kali, sannyas is forbidden for ordinary man. One who changes his dress to make propaganda is a different man from the original ideal sannyasi. One should, however, take the vow to stop social intercourse completely and devote life exclusively to the service of the Lord. The change of dress is only a formality. Only Lord Chaitanya did not accept the name of sannyasi, and in this age of Kali, the so-called sannyasis should not change their former names, following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. In this age, devotional service of hearing and repeating the holy glories of the Lord is strongly recommended, and one who takes the vow of renunciation of family life need not imitate the Acharya like Narad or Lord Chaitanya, but may sit down at some holy place and devote his whole time and energy to hear and repeatedly chant the holy scriptures left by the great Acharyas, like the 6 Goswami of Vrindavan. So anything on that? So Nard Muni, he went to all these places. He was obviously very fearless. He wasn't deterred by anything. He was undisturbed by the fearful things. I mean, most of us probably just have a heart attack, if you, especially in the night time, all these animals and creatures crawling about would be pretty nerve-wracking. But he wasn't disturbed by all this. Even grastas or sannyasis, if their consciousness is like a sannyasi, they are completely detached internally because they know the ultimate goal. So if the grastas are following the regulations and living detached life mentally, physically, then they are as good as sannyasis. And I guess this is why there are grastas who can give initiation as well. We have some examples. So Yeah, they are good. They're considered good as a sannyasi. Parishranted indriyatmaha trit parito babhukshita snatva pitva harade nadya upa prashito gat sharmaha. So parishrant, being tired, indriya bodily, atma mentally, aham I, trit paritaha being thirsty, babhukshita and hungry, snatva taking a bath, pitva and drinking water also, harade in the lake, nadiha of a river, upas parashata being in contact with, got relief from, sharmaha tiredness. So yeah, I mean, apart from all these scary animals and creatures and all that walking, there's the needs of the body as well. We need food, we need shelter, we need water, and obviously, we need to take a shower, bath or a shower as well. These are like daily necessities which have to be fulfilled as well as ducking and diving, trying to keep away from the animals. Thus traveling, I felt tired both bodily and mentally. I was both thirsty and hungry, so I took a bath in a river lake and also drank water. By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion. So as we discussed earlier, most of our body is water, and water is very important. For us, water, is described for when your breath is of life force. It has water, and your bodily, obviously, gross body has water as well. Water is is a very important part of our life, and just by contacting water, he got relief. This is how important it is. A traveling mendicant can meet the needs of the body, namely thirst and hunger, by the gifts of nature without being a beggar at the doors of the householders. The mendicant therefore does not go to the house of a householder to beg, but to enlighten him spiritually. So it says the mendicant can fend for himself, everything is there provided in the forests, but he's actually going to help them, rather getting them to help him. So just by the gift of nature, one can survive. All the fruits and vegetables, everything, berries, they're there. Sri Ram, he was in the jungle 14 years with the Lakshman and Sita Mata, and they survived on fruits and berries. We are artificially depending on consumer items. So we go shopping, we have our particular tastes and our favorite supermarkets as well. A true mendicant can show how to depend on Krishna. Tasme nirmanuje aranye pipalo past ashrita atman atmanam atmastham yatha shrutam achintayam. So tasmin, in that, nirmanuje, without human habitation, aranya, in the forest, people tree, so banyan tree, apaste, sitting under it, ashrita, taking shelter of, atmana, by intelligence, atmanam, the super soul, atmastham, situated within himself, yatha shrutam, as I heard it from the liberated souls, achintayam, thought over. So after that, under the shadow of a banyan tree in an uninhabited forest, I began to meditate upon the super soul situated within, using my intelligence as I had learned from the liberated souls. So Nadmani, despite all these difficulties, he had not gotten his focus. He was still focused on the super soul, on God, as he had learned from the learned sages. So one should not meditate according to one's personal whims. One should know perfectly well from the authoritative sources of scriptures through the transparent medium of a bona fide spiritual master and by proper use of one's trained intelligence for meditating upon the super soul dwelling within every living being. This consciousness is firmly developed by a devotee who has rendered loving service unto the Lord by carrying out the orders of the spiritual master. Srinathji contacted bona fide spiritual masters, served them sincerely, and got enlightenment rightly, thus he began to meditate. So due to his service, he had built that kind of consciousness that he was able to focus on God anywhere. It didn't have to be like very comfortable place. He can do that anywhere at any time. So there's some facts that banyan trees are very auspicious and good for meditation. So Naradji, he was like completely reliant on Krishna. He was walking, depending on Krishna, going to the jungle. When he was sitting, he was relying on Krishna. He was totally absorbed in Krishna. So walking means how do we relate to this world? Do we get distracted? The more we bring Krishna into the heart, the more we can sit and meditate. This was the case with Narad. He was totally absorbed. So some of the words, mindfulness. What is mindfulness? A goal is to learn to let go. That's mindfulness. Create distance from thoughts. Increase accurate self-awareness and develop mental stability. That's mindfulness explained. And open heart. His goal is to improve mood, increase accurate empathy, increase gratitude and appreciation. So if our heart is open, the chakra is open, that improves our mood, and we have more empathy, gratitude and appreciation. So quiet mind, goal is to minimize negative self-talk, engage in non-striving, create perspective from ego mind, experience restful alertedness. So I guess for meditation, you could say that these are like different kind of meditations, right? So if you are meditating to improve your focus, so improve your concentration, then you concentrate. You meditate for that. You can meditate for mindfulness. You can meditate for open heart and meditate for quiet mind. So these are different types of meditations, but obviously they take a lot of practice, and you have to learn how to do that. But you can meditate for focus, mindfulness, open heart, and for to quiet down the mind. The meditation is possible as well. So our meditation that we do actually includes all these categories and more. This is what Lord Chaitanya gave us for this yoga, is mantra meditation. So we call it mantra meditation, congregation chanting of the holy names, sankirtan and chanting on japa beads. So how does focus, mindfulness, open heart and quiet mind? So what are we doing for that? So basically, we don't have to go to an instructor to learn how to do these kind of meditations. We are already doing it. Now, how are we doing that? So in terms of focus, when we're chanting, we are focusing on sound vibration, right? We're chanting, we have to listen. Not that I'm saying we do all the time, mind drifts off. But the idea, this is the point of our chanting. So when we are chanting, the focus, the meditation of focus is focusing on the sound vibration. And then meditation of open heart. What are we doing there? We are praying to Krishna, please engage me in your service. So we are opening our heart with the mood of being a servant. So we're doing focus meditation, we're doing mindful, open heart meditation. And mindfulness, what we're doing for that, we are hearing the holy name and also are attentive of where the mood wanders. Mind wanders rather. So you bring the mind back. So that's mindfulness. We're watching the mind. We're separating ourselves from the mind. We're watching it moving away. We're seeing it, look, 1 minute it's here and now it's more. We are watching it and we bring it, look, come back to the hearing, the vibration. So we are opening our heart. We can bring the mind back by observing it, and we opening the heart as we explained, and quiet mind meditation. What are we doing when we're chanting? We are trying to focus our mind on the holy name so that all other distractions are subdued by the sound vibration. So once again, mindfulness and the quiet mind. In other words, that would be the ideal chanting. When we chant it, mantra meditation, that's what it actually means. To focus, be mindful, open the heart, and become a servant. Don't hold tight that with ego. Open the heart and allow yourself to be the servant and quietness of the mind. So this is just one mantra. It can give us so much. So this sound vibration is alive and it reciprocates. So unlike other forms of meditation, this is two-way. So you might wonder, well, then I can do any mantra. Should I say no? This one actually interacts with it's interactive, interacts with it because it's alive, it's transcendental, and there is reciprocation going on as you focus. The more you focus, the more. So when you think about Lada, we take it for granted. We could be talking and chanting at the same time, but there's no point because you're not interacting with the vibration. The idea is to be in peace, in focus, mindfulness, and interact with the vibration. That's when it has full effect. So it's very interesting. So Dhyayatas charana bojam bhav nirjit chetasa autokanthaya ashru kalakshasya hardi asen me shaner hari. So dhyayatha, thus meditating upon charan ambojam, the lotus feet of the localized personal Godhead, bhava nirjit, mind transformed in transcendental love for the Lord, chetasa, all mental activities, thinking, feeling, and willing, utkanthaya, eagerness, ashrukal, tears roll down, akshasa, of the eyes, akshasya, of the eyes, hardi, within my heart, asit, appeared, me, my, shanahi, without delay, hari, the personal Godhead. So why did the tears roll down in his eyes? So as soon as I began to meditate upon the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead with my mind transformed in transcendental love, tears rolled down my eyes, and without delay the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, appeared on the lotus of my heart. This is why. So the word bhav is significant here. The bhav state is attained after one has transcendental affection for the Lord. The first initial state is called Shraddha, or a liking for the Supreme Lord. And in order to increase that liking, one has to associate with pure devotees of the Lord. And that Shraddha increases and increases and increases at every stage. The third stage is to practice the prescribed rules and regulations of devotional service. So Sadhu Sangha, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, and Bhajan Kriya. So that's the third stage. This will dissipate all sorts of misgivings and remove all personal deficiencies that hamper progress in devotion service. So that's Anartha Nivritti, fourth stage. And then when all misgivings and personal deficiencies are removed, there is a standard faith in transcendental matter, and the taste for it increases in great proportion. So that's nishtha. This state leads to attraction, and after this there is bhav, or the prior stage of unalloyed love for God. And all the above different stages are but different stages of development of transcendental love. So being so surcharged with transcendental love, there comes a strong feeling of separation, which leads to 8 different kinds of ecstasies. Tears from the eyes of devotee is an automatic reaction, and because Śrīmad Muni in his previous birth attained that stage very quickly after his departure from home, it was quite possible for him to perceive the actual presence of the Lord, which he tangibly experienced by his developed spiritual senses without material tinge. So anything on that? So because he was eager to see Krishna, despite his situation, he was eager to see Krishna. He could see Krishna inside now. When this happened, his heart became filled with emotion of love. That love allowed Narad Muni to see Krishna outside as well. In his sadhana deha, body used for spiritual practice, he could see Krishna inside, and only one Krishna. One cannot contain this love and ecstatic symptom. So 8 times with his body to near, so near death experience is there. But now in his Siddha Deha, so there's Sadhana Deha and there's a Siddha Deha, spiritual body. And the Sadhana Deha is the body used for spiritual practice. He could see Krishna outside and see millions of Krishnas now. His heart is filled with bhav bhakti. He's going through the symptoms of attraction and separation, yog and viyog. So such a young child, and he's no one is ecstatic. He's seeing all these things. So it's just amazing for anyone, but a 5-year-old. So, never heard of. Prematibar nirbina pulankago atinivritaha ananda sampalave lino na pashyam ubhayam mune. So prema, love, atibaha, excessive, nirbina, especially distinguished, pulaka, feelings of happiness, angaha, different bodily parts, ati nirvirtaha, being fully overwhelmed, ananda, ecstasy, sampalave, in the ocean of lina, absorbed in, not apashyam, could see ubhyam, both, mune, O Vasudev. Vyasadev, sorry. O Vyasadev, at that time, being exceedingly overpowered by feelings of happiness, every part of my body became separately enlivened. Being absorbed in an ocean of ecstasy, I could not see both myself and the Lord. So what does it mean? Spiritual feelings of happiness and intense ecstasies have no mundane comparison. Therefore, it is very difficult to give expression to such feelings. We can just have a glimpse of such ecstasy in the words of Śrīmad Muni. Each and every part of the body or senses has its particular function. After seeing the Lord, all the senses became fully awakened to render service unto the Lord. Because in the liberated state, the senses are fully efficient in serving the Lord. As such, in that transcendental ecstasy, it is so happened that the senses became separately enlivened to serve the Lord. This being so, Narad Muni lost himself in seeing both himself and the Lord simultaneously. Let's see if there's anything on this. So when one sees Krishna in the stage of bhav, every one of the senses becomes enlivened, which means that every one of the senses could perform the function of every other sense. Indriya Sakalrend, with his eyes he could see, with his eyes he could hear, with his eyes he could smell, with his eyes he could touch, taste Krishna. Amazing. So he got a spiritual body, at that time, and he could use every sense for all its purposes, all the senses purposes. Rupam bhagavato yattan manha kantam shuchapaham apashyan sahasataste vyakalvayat durmana iva. Rupam, form, Bhagavata of the personal Godhead, yat as it is, that manha of the mind, kantam as it desires, such apaham vanishing or disparity, apshyan without seeing, sahasa all of a sudden, uttaste got up, vyakalavayat being perturbed, durmanaha having lost the desirable, eva as it were. So the transcendental form of the Lord as it is satisfied the mind desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as is usual when one loses that which is desirable. That the Lord is not formless is experienced by Narad-Muni, but his form is completely different from all forms of our material experience. For the whole duration of our life, we go on seeing different forms in the material world, but none of them is just apt to satisfy the mind, nor can any of them vanish all perturbedness of the mind. So any other form does not compare to this form. These are the special features of the transcendental form of the Lord, and one who has once seen that form is not satisfied with anything else. No form in the material world can any longer satisfy the seer. That the Lord is formless or impersonal means that he has nothing like a material form and is not like any material personality. As spiritual beings having eternal relations with that transcendental form of the Lord, we are life after life searching after that form of the Lord. So we become Prikshit as well. And we are not satisfied by any other form of material appeasement. Narad Muni got a glimpse of this, but having not seen it again, he became perturbed and stood up all of a sudden to search it out. What we desire, life after life, was obtained by Narad Muni, and losing sight of him again was certainly a great shock for him. And that's how it's described, that the Lord appears momentarily and then he disappears and he leaves you in that Vipalampa state. You're disturbed in separation, emotions flow because you want that you want to see that form again and again, but now it's no longer there. Yeah. So quickly we'll do the last one. Didrakshustad aham puya pranidaya manohirdi vrikshamanopi na pashyam avitrapta ivaturaha. So didrakshu, desiring to see that aham I, bhuya again, prani daya, having concentrated the mind, manaha, mind again, haridi, upon the heart, vikshamanaha, waiting to see, api, in spite of, na, never, apshyam, saw him, avitrapatha, without being satisfied, evil like, aturaha, aggrieved. So our desire to see again that transcendental form of the Lord, but despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see him anymore, and thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved. So seeing the Lord, it's not a process or some kind of mechanism that you do that or you meditate, even like mindfulness and focus and everything. You do that and the Lord will appear in front of you. It's not that kind of process. This is why we have the Maha Mantra. You see the Lord through the ears from the sound vibration. Yes, that you can do, but to see him face to face only by his mercy when he wants to reveal himself. He's Svarat. He's independent. He can come and go as he pleases. So I desire to see again that transcendental form of the Lord. But despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see him any more, and thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved. There is no mechanical process to see the form of the Lord, so Srila Prabhupada explains. It completely depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. We cannot demand the Lord to be present before our vision, just as we cannot demand the sun to rise whenever we like. If we could, we would be sunny every day, but the sun comes and goes according to the clouds. The sun rises out of his own accord, so we have day and night. So also the Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy. One should simply await the opportune moment and go on discharging his prescribed duty in devotional service of the Lord. Nard Muni thought that the Lord could be seen again by the same mechanical process which was successful in the first attempt. So he thought, oh, so this is the way to do it. So I'll do it whenever I want to see the Lord. I can just call him by doing this process, but no. But in spite of his utmost endeavor, he could not make the second attempt successful. The Lord is completely independent of all obligations. He cannot simply be bound up by the tie of unalloyed devotion, nor is he visible and or perceivable by our material senses. When he pleases, being satisfied with the sincere attempt on your service, depending completely on the mercy of the Lord, then he may be seen out of his own accord. That's the thing. So, excuse me. So there has to be a receiver's attitude. There is no karmic formula to see him. Pray to the Lord for his mercy. Not try to see the Lord again, but it didn't happen because the Lord is independent. He was pleased with Narad's attitude, so he appeared to him. So the Lord appeared to him, and just to give his mercy, but you cannot control the Lord at your whim. So thank you so much. I thought this was very blissful verses, and leaves you stunned. And Nard Muni has demonstrated that what a jiva can do with the right attitude, and Lord reciprocates to that jiva. Thank you so much. I'd like to hear from you all. Hina Mataji, I think, is listening only anyway. So, Kiran Prabhu, would you like to make a start?
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Amazing set of verses. Little boy, he ran away. He ran into the forest. He ran into the gold mines, the copper mines, and he realized that these were just mundane, physical situations that he was finding himself in time after time. And for me, the little line that says it all was, changing dresses is only a formality. Changing dresses is only a formality, and hence 4,860,000 dresses we've had is only a formality. However, we have to realize that this one opportunity we have in this human birth, 400,000 forms of human births, we have to develop that consciousness to become greater devotees and greater bhaktas, and hence this opportunity for devotion is only given to a few. This is the secret of all secrets. This is the most confidential knowledge, and hence we are the recipients of this secret of all secrets. And it just tells us that, we are on the epitome on receiving these pearls of wisdom. He realized, as even as a 5-year-old boy, he could see such beauty, such depth of opulences. He said, but this was only just part of birth, death, disease, and old age. He realized that the only thing that is important is God realization. 5-year-old boy, Prahlad. There's so many little youngsters. Let's learn from them. And in the verses talks of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was able to enlighten not only other people but also the animals, and hence we must develop that connection with nature. And you made a reference to water. Water is part of nature. Nature is water and air. Those two things come for free. But we live in that material world where even water we pay for. It won't be long before we pay for air as well. And hence, let's make use of the resources, because water is the elixir of life. Without water, nothing exists. And hence, water is given to us by the divine. And you can see that there is so much acrimony, that there is one country who is saying we can hold or we can divert water flows into another country if you are not careful in terms of how you behave, in terms of your relationship with others. You cannot be evil. You have to be compassionate. And so there is a political element to it as well. The role of the mendicant is also illustrated. Mendicants are powerful people. They survive in nature. They don't need to come and knock on people's doors. However, they come on people's doors because they give them devotion and mercy. But the gifts of nature, they receive from the environment and the jungles and the forests, but they do not need anything else. The discussion on meditation. Yes, we learn meditation in different ways. The japa meditation is one way, but the japa meditation requires us to bring our mind into control. It talks of being attentive in the process, that there are 10 offenses that can occur through this process as well. The japa process gives us the connection with the divine. You can do meditation in different ways, but the japa process is the greatest because it gives us the Hari, Nam connection, and in it is the built-in Hari, the Samkirtan as well. The association with each other, the sadhana that goes with it, the service that is necessary is an absolute priceless gift. The bhav that this 5-year-old developed, he realized that to be liberated or to stay in a liberated state, you have to give up the attachments of the material world. Once you get into that state of bhav, all your senses will embrace the divine. You can feel the Lord with your fingers and your senses of touch. You can see the divine in everything that is around you. You can hear him, you can smell him in everything that is around us. That is the sense of total mind and sense liberation. It requires effort. Nothing is achieved without effort. The Lord appears, but he only appears to us momentarily. But if we develop that grace to see the divine and the divine flame in everyone that is around us, then the mercy of the Lord will be with us forever. This is not a mechanical process. We have to work at it, and we have to develop that service mindset, that sadhana, and that bhakti and that association with each other. That is the message that is coming through all these shastras that we are engaged in on a daily basis. See the Lord in everything and everyone that you see around you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. And the chanting, we don't have to do meditation separately, as is explained, that meditation is part of our sadhana as well, and it comes automatically with, if we sit down in a quiet place and chant, we're meditating as well. Thank you. Parveen Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class. And Kiran Prabhu's really nicely summarized everything. So I'll just say it is again just faith and the right knowledge that we need to engage ourselves with the service of the Lord. And service attitude for the pleasure of Krishna is very, very important. So Srila Prabhupada, he has given us all the books to read and to get the right knowledge to know what is right. Like Kiran Prabhu said, devotional service is most confident knowledge. And in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says as well, Rajvidya Rajguyam. So this is the perfection of life. So we have to regulate our life. And so you explained so nicely about the meditation, different types of focus, quiet mind, appreciation. And we are fortunate that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the Mahamantra to meditate on. But I've been just getting worried and thinking, like my mind, even in the class, my mind was everywhere. And it's very hard to bring back the mind to focus. So I can only pray and ask for blessings that I can focus and just be there, be present in the class and listen attentively, because that is going to help. And yeah, but Krishna's mercy, we have got full faith in him. Want to surrender, want to come to the stage of fearlessness, so we don't worry about anything. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Ajaya Prabhu, say something.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Yeah, so these verses quite pertinent, especially with Narad Muni's experience, as in you imagine seeing the Lord and then him disappearing. I mean, we get grieved by if something, say, forget something or something, things happen. You get the ultimate experience and then it's gone away from you. It just would be you'd be completely, you'd be shocked, horrified, whatever. You'd be like, no, why can't I? Where have you gone, Lord? Yeah, not only that's so. Not only do you need not only do you need to be worthy, you need to be capable, or you actually need the mercy to see the Lord, but you also got to understand He'll test you later on. So in this case, He was tested straight away. Okay, you got a bit of taste of, you got to get a bit of association, that direct association. Now, can you handle that separation afterwards? And that's the thing. I think that's what tends to throw people off in Krishna consciousness, in Bhakti in general, actually, just that they might get a bit of taste for it, but they think, if I keep doing this, automatically everything will happen naturally. But there is that causeless mercy that's needed. So it's important that we stick to the process. We understand it doesn't happen on our whims. Sometimes we might progress a lot faster than we thought we might. Other times things might be a bit slower. But if we trust in Krishna's plan, then we will be okay. I think it's his plan, it's not our plan. And once we get that, then then that's the example of like Prabhupada, for example. He relied on Krishna. I'm going to the West. Leave it to you to decide what's right, what's wrong. When we do that, then it works. When we try and decide what's right and wrong, that's when things go wrong. So Prabhupada, I think Narad Muni's a great example there as well. We just got to trust in Krishna. Give it that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Radharani.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Yes, wonderful verses. And yeah, I was just thinking on the same grounds as Ajay said, that if we do, we are doomed, and we don't, we are doomed as well. So at the moment, our situation is that we are looking for Krishna, we are following the process. We are trying to understand in our own capacity, and we're trying to practice as much as we can. We have our limitations, and when you hear how the mercy comes causelessly, how it came to Narad Muni, but it didn't happen in one life, did it? It was a sadhana of many lives, which culminates into perfection. So it's fine. We will just carry on practicing. Whenever Krishna sees that we are ready for it, Krishna will give us the darshan. But to hear that when you have the darshan, it's only for a moment, and Krishna disappears, then he again makes you feel, that bhav comes, stays with you, that you want to see that only, because everything else doesn't mean anything to you then, once you have had the darshan. I think this is the state one gets. And I'm sure if it happens to us, we will definitely die of separation straight away. We'll be so shocked. We won't be able to be able to be revived by anything or anyone. So, yes, to hear these pastimes, how a 5-year-old can have the mercy when the time is right, when he has, reached the climax of his sadhana, is brilliant. And yes, it will come causelessly to us, because like at the moment we can't even do our japa properly. Our minds are designed like that. Minds go for something which is not in our control. Mind hankers for that. Mind goes backward, mind goes forward. But yet this is why this 2-hour practice which we have been given is one of the most important times of our day. We try our best, to bring our mind, even if it comes for sometimes for 10 minutes, or if we are very lucky, if it's in our control for 15 minutes in those moments of sadhana. Because I was hearing somewhere that Krishna is actually very happy within our own limitations. We are sitting down and doing that sadhana. That is like, A-star grade for us from Krishna. Because Krishna knows that we all have our limitations in this body due to our past desires, unfulfilled desires from not just this life, from many lives, and the past karma, well, the more we chant, the more that karma is taken away, the sins are taken away. But, it's a very complex process. It's easily said that this is going to happen by doing this. But when you hear that, no, it is going to come with causeless mercy. If one day our mind will be hearing will allow our ears to hear our mantra meditation, that will be fantastic. Because this is what we're waiting for, isn't it? When somebody asked Prabhupada, how far is Vaikuntha, or how far is Bhagwan from us? Prabhupada says only 6 fingers away. That's from the distance from our mouth to our ears. So I thought, yeah, Prabhupada had such a wonderful way of explaining things. How far it is, only 6 fingers away. I thought, wow, that's it. That means that the more our slowly with our daily trials and our sitting down, trying our best to do our chanting, this will happen one day. So yeah, Krishna has given everything in our hands as well, but at the same time it is not in our hands. We think that, oh, chanting is under our control, but no, because the mind is not our control. And then Krishna says, and Guru says to us, that it comes from causeless mercy. So yeah, all I will say is that, yeah, let's stay put, keep practicing. Our day will come. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you so much. It was a wonderful session today, and we'll catch up again on Wednesday and talk more about Narad Muni. What an amazing personality. And we have learned so much from him. May Narad Muni bless us because the blessings, the mercy flows from Krishna through his devotees. They're more approachable than Krishna, and they don't necessarily give you a momentary appearance and disappear. We can have association of devotees as much as we want. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Jai.